So what are you using my money for? Your benefit? No, Black. You need somewhere to live at. You need somewhere to live just like that child needs somewhere to live at.
I don't need a 3
If you didn't have that child, no. But what I'm saying is, you still need a roof over your head.
A roof.
You still need to
not
eat.
a 3-bedroom roof.
Black.
You're
not getting what I'm saying. My money ain't supposed to go to you. My money's supposed to go to that child. So anything I give you in that bank account, or when I give you through that check through the collection agency, should go towards the child. So like you said with supplies, if the school supplies was needed on the 10th or the 5th, and you ain't get your check to the 10th, if the school supplies needed on the 5th, and you didn't get your child support check to the 10th, you talking about paying yourself back. But why didn't you take that child support check that came prior to the 10th and put towards the supplies? You get what I'm saying? Or when that check is coming, you taking some money out of it because you know school is coming up in 3 months. I need to take $25 off this check. Each time I get up, you hear what I'm saying? Each time I get my child support check, I need to take $25 because it needs to go towards his book bags, his this, his that, his that. But no, they don't do that right there. They take that money and spend it on their own leisure.
No, and I wasn't talking about necessarily child support. I said if school supplies and everything for school is $500, and she already went and got everything, or whoever already went and got everything, and then you come after and you give her the half of it, why do it matter what she spend it on? If y'all going half on what it or what's needed, it'll be all the same if y'all went out together.
As long as it's for my child, I don't care
It'll
what
be
you
all
do.
the same if y'all went out together. You was everywhere she was at for this shopping, and you seen what the total was, and it was $500. But you didn't have it that time, but she paid for it. So when you give her your half, you just giving it back. You understand what I'm saying? That don't make sense to y'all.
But it's still because if you don't pay that money, regardless of what, if the man doesn't pay that money, or the woman.
I'm not talking about child support. I'm talking about if y'all got this together on your own. Me and you, girl, I gotta go school shopping and carry the kid with me, right?
She's right.
You see
She's
everything
right.
I buy, right?
Listen to what she's saying. Y'all not catching what she's saying, but she's right.
So I got the whole 5 right now. And
That's
it's
the
needed
part of the
now.
mother,
So
right?
I'm gonna go get it now. And whenever you come
What
with
into
the
that child support
half,
check prior to that
you just
500
give
she
me the
spent?
half back that we supposed to spend together
That's what I'm
anyway.
asking. Where all of a sudden, where that money go at
I
privately?
understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But still, I still got to give my money to child support.
I'm not talking about child support. I'm
That's
talking about
You know another thing in the black
boils down
community that kills
to
me?
that, though.
You know another thing in the black community
I
that
know
kills
what
me?
you're saying.
We spend our money. I saw this
you
day
know
on
what I mean?
Facebook.
If you paying for something, you got the
We
money
take our
right
money
now. Go
for
ahead
a
and
pair
do
of
it.
Jordans
Give
that
you the
cost
money
pennies
back.
to me.
You know what I mean?
Bruh.
$2.
Standing in line
$17.
For
So,
hours
yeah, okay, that's cool.
to pay $300 for some shoes that you think that their mothers think their kid needs. I wish Mitch was here. I wish Mitch was here. He'll tell you about how his baby mother harasses him because his son says, I want the new LeBron. I want this. I want that. It ain't what he wants, it's what he needs. You see what I'm saying?
True.
If it's some Payless
I done seen
sneakers,
people go down here
you got
and
shoes
child
on your feet.
support,
You see what I'm
go in
saying?
that office,
You ain't
and
cold, your feet ain't
a
cold. You
payment in
get what I'm saying?
cash.
Why is it necessary that he has
They
to
don't
have
even
those
write that
LeBrons?
down.
You get what I'm
They
saying?
just
That's
take
only in the
money,
black
put it in
community.
the envelope,
You see what I'm saying?
put your name
It's
on
only in the black community. That's why I see guys paying child support, man, $500 a week. Like, what the? For 2 kids? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I'm gonna do one even deeper. There was 2 Texas cases, okay? Black female judge, sections again, okay? She gave this dude 6 months in jail because he paid
Too much.
I saw that. I saw that.
See,
He
that's
paid
how
too much child
corrupt
support,
this is.
and she gave him jail time. Yep.
And then ordered him to pay his ex-wife's lawyer, his father for their divorce, $8,000 benefits. Where's the penalty? That's fraudulent.
She should have to pay that.
That's fraudulent. That's right. But it's about destroying the man as well as the woman. And it's very hard to put most females on child support. Yeah, it's hard.
I want to know why is that when a child is born and we got a baby together, we together, but we're not married. Why the baby got to be awarded to you?
Without joint custody first.
Yeah.
Why can't the baby come with me? You see what I'm saying? Why can't the baby come live with me? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Nobody does have custody. You're right. Until somebody go to court, like what my baby mother did. She went to court and the judge just awarded. She didn't ask for custody. The judge awarded her
That's a violation.
full
Right
custody.
there.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, how can you award this girl full custody of my daughter? My daughter's 16. It's cool because I got 2 years left. But had my daughter been, that's why I don't really care. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm almost done.
Now, watch this. Let's say she said you can't see your daughter, right?
That's another problem.
But watch this. What you want filed is parental kidnapping. She can get 3 years in jail for that.
Parental kidnapping.
Parental kidnapping.
Because she hasn't allowed me to see my daughter.
Parental kidnapping.
Yeah, and I've called if I call my daughter right now, she'll answer.
That's parental kidnapping.
Right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's parental
And I go
kidnapping.
right down here to the courthouse, to the one right there on Calvert Street. Talk to the pro se people and let them know my situation.
Is it your daughter?
It's my daughter. Well, I'm on birth certificate. I was there when she was born. You know what I'm saying?
You can't ask questions.
Right.
Well, she looked like me. I ain't never had a blood test, but I know she lied.
Mm.
Yeah, I think she lied.
All right, we
I should get a
got.
blood test. But then that's looking bad, like me saying. How y'all doing? My name is Glenn, aka Roy G. All my friends call me Roy G. The G stands for Glenn, of course.
There you go.
I mean, you know, I believe that the job is to destroy the white man. I mean, the black man. I'm sorry. Coming up in Baltimore, my mother always told me it goes in line like this: it's the white man, the white woman, the black woman, and then the black man. The black man is always at the bottom of the totem pole. She always told me I had 3 strikes against me. I was young, I was black, and I was a male. So it's tough for me to make it in this world. So what they're trying to do is destroy us. So they don't want us to have certain, it's propaganda. They don't want us to have information that can help us because their job is to destroy, to kill off the black race. That's why it's so much going on, you know, in the world today with police corruption and things like that. Because the white man's job is to destroy off the black race. That's what I believe. Well, I don't think that's fair that the woman is awarded the child, first of all. When the child is born, after they have the child goes automatically to stay with the mother. I think that's wrong. And then they have this thing where, as though I can recall for myself, once my daughter was born, when at the age of 2, my mother, I was doing for my daughter prior to, you know, to her turning 2, and when she went downtown, there was a questionnaire that they asked her, does the father provide support for the child? And her answer was no. So that started with me being on this thing called child support. Because the question was I supporting her as if I was paying child support, in which I wasn't, but I was doing for my daughter outside of child support. So for them to come up with this thing where as though I have to give money to her for the support of my child's sake is ludicrous. I mean, it's ludicrous. I feel like, you know, that child can come stay with me. I can do the same things that she's doing for the child in that household, in my household. You know, I feel like that. I feel like I can raise my own daughter. You know, I don't need a government, or I'll say a state mandate to regulate when I should see my daughter, how much I should pay for my daughter, how much she deserves. She needs the necessities, not what she wants. It's what she needs. As long as she's fed, clothed, and she has a shelter, she should be okay. But the outrageous numbers of paying $500 a week in child support or $2,000 a month in child support for 1 or 2 children, it's just it's absurd. It's ludicrous, honestly.
You know you can't get a gun if you have a felony.
Yes.
So what they trying to do is everybody's on child support. They want to give you a felony with it.
Oh,
So
really?
no, they want to turn it into a felony.
Didn't know that.
Freeze your bank account.
I didn't know that at all.
And take your vehicle.
Yeah, I know that. Well, the one thing I will say is, and this is unfortunate for me, by me switching jobs, like I said, I work in IT. So by me switching jobs, every time I switch jobs, is a stop in my child support. So when there's a break in my child support, and then when I start my new job, which will be 2 weeks later or a week later, child support then looks at it as if I'm not paying it consistently, and then sends a violation to motor vehicle for my license to be suspended. There's been times where my license has been suspended, and I didn't even know my license was suspended, and I'm paying child support. And then when I get arrested, I can recall one time I was arrested, and I went before the commissioner. The commissioner said to me, "I'm sorry, Mr. Haynes. Unfortunately, this is what happens. Child support does not communicate with motor vehicle." I'm like, that's not my fault, but that's what is going. That's the problems they have is going on. Child support not communicating with motor vehicle, and your license is being subject to be suspended. I'm riding around with a suspended license, and I'm not aware of that right there, because I'm thinking by me paying child support, everything should be okay, you know. But they're looking at it as if it's a break, even if it's 1 week, a break. My license is still subject to be suspended, which is totally unfair. You know, what about when that day that my daughter's mother loses her job? what's subject to be suspended then? When she can't provide for my daughter and is living and is banking on my child support for them to eat. So what type of suspension or you know, rectification is she subjected to? You know, that's my thing. Recently, I had a situation with my daughter in September where I disciplined my daughter. I raised my voice and I cursed. My daughter called me the first day of school. She said, "Daddy, I had no way of getting home from school." I said, "Well, I'm at work. There's really nothing I can do for you." I said, "Well, I can contact your mother." Well, of course, when I try to contact her mother has me on the block list, so I can't get through to her mother. So I contact my grandmother to get in contact.
What you mean the block list?
She has my phone number blocked to her phone just in case I call that she can't get the call, which I think is absurd because let's just say an emergency happens with my daughter and I need to get in contact with her. But her immaturity, she hasn't grown up yet. You know, she's still living in a child's world. You know, so this particular day, my daughter was stranded at school, quote unquote. So when I talked to my grandmother said that my daughter's mother said she gave my daughter money to get home from school. So when I called my daughter back, I said to my daughter, I said, "Well, why did you tell me you had no way to get home from school?" She said, "Well, Dad, I didn't." I said, "But you told me you had no way to get home from school." She said, "Oh, here we go again," and raised her voice at me. I said, "Well, Deanna, who are you talking to? I will fuck you up." So when I said that, and actually I was in the same place where I am when I said that. When I said that, she took that to her mother as if I was going to harm my daughter. Okay, I witnessed my daughter's mother cussing at my daughter, calling her names, all sorts of things. But when the dad does it, it's a problem. So she took me to court, and when she took me to court, she had an ex parte against me for me to stay away from my daughter, and her. Well, when I went to court, the judge awarded the ex parte for me to stay away from her, not from my daughter. And when I contacted my daughter said to me, my mother said for me to stay away from you for a year. And I said, that's not what the judge said in the court case. So she says, well, you got to talk to my mother, and I'm not allowed to talk to her mother. You see what I'm saying? So now I text my daughter, tell her how much I love her and stuff like that. Hope she's doing good in school. But I haven't communicated with my daughter, you know, all due to the fact that her mother brainwashing, coercing her to believe that she's supposed to stay away from me for a year on a disagreement with me and her. You know, she uses this court system to turn against me. You know, since my daughter was a child, I can remember when she was graduating from Head Start, and I found out where it was because she never told me. Wow. She never told me where it was. And when I found out, she flipped. She flipped. Me and my mother was there. She flipped like she didn't want me to know. She just left. She left, actually, because she found out I was there. Like, she has so much hatred and animosity towards me, she brings it in towards our child, you know, which is unfair to me. You know, even with my daughter's 8th grade graduation recently, her mother's there, her brother's there, and I speak to them. You know, my mother, my grandmother's there, but she doesn't speak to my mother and my grandmother. They did nothing to her. You know, they've done nothing to her at all. Actually, they speak to her, but she doesn't speak back because she has so much animosity towards me, which I don't understand. And she uses this court system. It's always my child. It's my. That's another thing that bothers me. It's always my child. I have a visitation right from 12 o'clock. Well, I had one. It was modified recently when I went to court 2 months ago for the incident I was just telling you about. But I had a visitation right from 12 o'clock on Saturday until 8 o'clock on Sunday. So if I showed up with my daughter at 8:05 on Sunday, she called the police. Like, this is the type of stuff that she does. Like, yeah, she does this, you know. Even with the situation in September, I took the police there after my daughter was being disrespectful. I took the police with me there. Took them there to her house. But when we got to court, she told the judge that I was kicking and banging on her door, in which I was not doing, you know. So it's unfair. When I got to court, the judge would not even let me speak. The judge let her talk, but she wouldn't even let me speak. It was like sexist almost, like bias. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what it is. It's bias and sexist.
Yeah, I didn't understand that right there. How they just let her speak. And there was another guy that was there in front of me who was fighting for custody for his son. He had to ask for permission to take his son out of the country. He had to write a letter to his daughter, to his son's mother, to say that he would bring his child back into the country. And I'm like, how crazy is that? How crazy is that you have to write a letter stating that you will bring your child back? That's just as much as his child as it is hers. You know, I just don't understand how it's always their way. They see things their way and not both ways. It should be, I'm not saying it should be all about the men. I feel like it should be equal, you know? She does just as much as, it's 50-50. We both laid down and created that child. So we both should equally take care of it. So that means if the child needs something, then I get it. I don't need you to say they need a certain amount of money to get it. Because let's just say you want to get a child some shirts for school, and the shirts that you want to get are $12, but the shirts that I know are the same material are $6. Why is it that I have to give you the money that you want for the material that you, which is the same material, for the shirts that you want? You know, I feel like this is just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
The other part is, you got people out here who don't have no intentions on being self-responsible for a life they created. No, you shouldn't need nobody else to tell you how much you need to do to take care of your child. It should be an instinct. The same way it's an instinct for most mothers. You know, the same way when a dog has puppies, the mother's instinct is to clean them off and put her titty in their mouth. It should be an instinct to nurture your child and to take care of him, you know, or him. So I don't see why a lot of dudes be fussing. Because sometimes when they ask you to pay in child support, it's not even a quarter of what it takes to take care of your child for the month.
I think what a lot of guys are upset is not the fact to take care of the child. I think it's the systematic approach to it.
Right.
Like, meaning having someone intervene and put stipulations on you to take care of your child. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm not talking about the dudes that would do it without child support.
Right.
I'm talking about the ones who, they make that baby and they out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They make that baby and they out. And then, you know, child support dig all in their business, yeah, and if you don't pay, you gotta go to jail. You know, I know it's dudes that work, but see, it's dudes that work with no ambition. You know what I'm saying? You okay working, doing just enough to get by for 2 weeks. But see, when you got a child, you can't be okay with mediocre. You gotta do what you gotta do to take care of that child. And don't get it twisted. I'm not one of them lesbians that want to be nobody's father. But I'm in a relationship with a female and she got kids, and whatever come with her, I got, you know, if I love her, I love what she loves too. And that's her kids, so I help her take care of her kids. Like they mine. Whatever they need, we go ahead. So I know how much it costs. I know how much it costs. So I don't understand when dudes you gotta pay $100 or less a month. Look, pay that money and be happy. Because it's just, I don't understand it. But it is screwed up how, you know, you don't pay, you spend your license. If you got a job, how you gonna get to work? To catch up on your late payments. And the next one. I think when you go to child support court, I think both parties should have to present income. And show what you're making. Show how well you can take care of your child. You know. And the party that's not participating, I think that they should have to meet the other party halfway. You know, like if somebody make $30,000 a year, which is not a lot, but if you make $30,000 a year, and that's what you take care of your child out of that, I think the other party their child support rate should be based on the $30,000 a year, because you're supposed to do it together. You understand what I'm saying? I think it should be a set rate for however many numbers of kids you got. If you got one child, it should be a set rate. One child is this much. It shouldn't be you pay this and you pay that. I don't think you should get like that, because then you ain't no use to nobody but them. And I'm not blind to how it really, you know, I'm not blind to the agenda. I'm not blind to that. But I'm not even really speaking on that. I'm just talking about really taking care of your kids. That's it. You know, don't let yourself get on child support. For real. You want to avoid all that? If you decide to be with a woman, y'all make a baby, y'all be together and take care of that baby. When you decide to create a family, you're supposed to stay a family. Be a family. No, what I'm saying is, don't make a child with that type of female. How do you not make a child with that type of female? Don't be a man whore. Don't be on a mission to score. To sleep with as many girls as you want, or you see something and you just want to go inside it. Have some value to who you lay with. You can avoid all of that. You can avoid being a part of the system. Like I'm not really with the pity part of it, because it's all about, and this is life. I can base this on everything. It's all about self-responsibility and integrity. If you got some integrity about who you lay with, then you're gonna take more time and you're gonna have more value on who you decide to even possibly make a baby with. So all that hooking up just to get her because everybody looking at her, or because you see something that's juicy, you can avoid all that just by that right there. If you make a decision to say, I want to make a baby with this person, y'all made a decision to create a life together. So hopefully y'all want what's good for that life y'all creating. And what's good for that life y'all creating is to have the two creators with it all the time. And you can avoid the agenda then. You take some responsibility and have integrity about your life.
Like, I didn't pay child support for a child that's 30 years old. Here, I'm 50 years old and just getting off of child support. Because when you get arrested, your child support don't stop. Here, you locked up and you got arrears and you owe the state $20 and $30 and $40,000 and you locked up. You know what I'm saying? But how did you get locked up? Trying to provide for that child. The best way you know how at that particular time. Because see, we didn't have jobs ready available. So we had to do what we had to do. And when your father left the scene and you had sisters and you had moms and all you had was that little $65 book of food stamps that didn't go all the way around, then we did what we had to do. We took to the streets. And then when we got that number on our back, you never got up off of probation, and the least little thing you did, they sent you back to jail. So you was on probation for 3 years and you went to jail for a charge that carried 6 months, and you did 5 years on 6 months because of the probation. They kept violating you, and sending you back to jail. And your child support never stopped for that one child. That one child cost you $20,000 and $30,000. And then once you get a job, they in your check. They in your check, and then you don't really want to work because they taking most of your money. Say you go to work. You got bills to pay now. You only making $9 an hour. Say you rent $500 a month. That's cutting it real close because ain't nobody paying $500 a month. I'm just using that as a scenario. Say you rent $500 a month. You're making $9 an hour. Say you're making $300-400 a week. You got gas and electric. You got your kids' clothing. If you got a car to get to your job, you got gas, you got car insurance. Then your kids got to eat because they saying you make too much to get food stamps when you don't make no money at all. And God forbid they taking $100 out for child support, or they taking $75 out a week for one child. And the same child they taking child support out for, you help taking care of that child and somebody else's child. But they don't see all of that. All they see is that you owe the state money and the state want theirs at any cost. It don't matter how or what way they do or how they do you. But that's how it is, and we have no say so. Then they give you a program. The only way I got off of child support, I had to work and not miss a payment for 4 straight years. It's called a sanitary program. For 4 straight years, I had not to miss a payment, and they cut my child support in half after the 2nd year. And then the child that I was paying child support, the crazy part is she lived with me. The child I was paying child support for. And arrears. I was paying arrears because I was locked up. And she had 2 kids. And they was my grandkids. And I was taking care of them. But they don't see all of that. It don't matter. That part don't matter to them. It don't matter. All they know is you owe the state arrears. And that's what they want. It don't matter if she live with you. It don't matter if you're taking care of the grandkids. None of that stuff matters to the child support system. None of that matters. You could be the best once they call their self, you never been, they call it rehabilitation into society. How can they rehabilitate somebody?
In debt.
No, it wasn't going nowhere. They was called the arrears. They wasn't even getting the money. They was giving it back to the states. The baby mother wasn't getting anything.
Wow.
You don't get nothing when you paying arrears. You don't. The baby mother don't get nothing. They want to take your taxes. It's called intercept program. They take your taxes. You know what I'm saying? They just do a whole bunch of stuff, and it's quote unquote legal. How they do a lot of stuff to you, but let you do it out in the street, it's illegal. Whatever they do to you is legal, but when you turn around and do it back to them, it's illegal. It's not even so much as immunity. It's a legal loophole for them, but it's illegal for you. That's just like it's like sad how they make you cop out to 18 months for a charge that only carries 60 days. How you think a lot of people just go to jail? Because you see what they feed you over to jail. You can't wait to get in the system to get a real meal. After 30 days of eating that slop, you can't wait to you're gonna feel better. You get to go outside, you get to go to the yard, you get to interact with other people. That's if you're a real man and you know you can handle yourself and do what you gotta do in the prison system. You're gonna cop out. You're gonna get up out of there. All they want is a conviction. They don't care how they get it. You know what I'm saying? You get a charge, you get out on bail, or you get out your own recall, and you go to court and you know you ain't do nothing, and they say, we're gonna let you go right now, but we want you to say time served. You ain't even do nothing, but to leave out that courtroom right now, you say, yeah, I'm gonna take this time served, and that's a conviction on your record, cause you had set the time served, even though you ain't do nothing at all. You got caught up in some bullshit, and they just say time served. You say yeah. So that's another conviction on your record. And then the next time they catch you down the road, you got 4 convictions. I'm going to send your ass to jail. People don't understand. The state, then you got they public pretenders. They don't defend you. They make deals with the state's attorney. They just trying to work their way up. That's a whole bunch of them that don't do nothing. You get a state $50, and then they throw you. But what can you do? You can't go in there by yourself. And then your child support just run up while you in there. And then, how the hell can you pay child support and you in jail and you make $1 a day? That's what you make. You make $1 a day, and then but that's another story that I have to understand. I want to touch on that before I get finished. You make $1 a day, but you paying child support and you locked up, but your child support still running. Come on, they know where you at. They know exactly where you at. It ain't like they don't know your ass locked up. So why is your child support still accumulating? And now you get out of jail 10 years later, you owe $40,000. As soon as you get a job working at McDonald's, the first thing they do is send you paper saying, oh, well, we're going to take $60 every 2 weeks out your check. And you work at McDonald's and you just really trying to get on your feet. So you feel as though McDonald's ain't doing a damn thing for you. So the next thing you know is, this guy got a pack and I'm going to make me $1,000 a week. And they not going to take, and I'm going to take care of my kids, and I'm going to pay my rent, and I'm going to do this. And the next thing you know, you back in jail. Because you trying to really take care of your family the right way. Because $60 or that Lord McDonald's ain't going to do it, because they taking most of it because you owe child support. But see, they claim they don't know where you at. But as soon as you get a job, they know exactly where you at. They know exactly where you at. And then, like I was saying about you get $1 a day in jail. Then when you do come home, well, I ain't working here for $5 or $8 an hour. I ain't working minimum wage. But you the first person that ran up to the office and tried to get a job on the tier. You know what I mean? Come on. It's our society is so rigged. See, it's rigged that it's designed for you to be fucked up and fail. It's designed for the black man to be fucked up and fail. See, they know for a fact that They couldn't get, they got the first like my mother and father and them, they turned them into alcoholics. And then when I was growing up, see, they had the underground, and it was social accepted to sniff dope. It was cool to sniff dope. The guys before me, it was cool as shit to shoot dope. But see, you couldn't get us to shoot dope because we seen what it did to them. So it was cool to sniff dope. And then they threw the crack on the scene because they didn't want to sniff dope. Then when they started smoking crack, and then they just fucked everybody up. And then the kids after us didn't want to smoke crack and sniff dope because they seen what they did to their mothers and fathers. So they gave them that crazy ass weed called loud, and then they gave them the pills. See, they always got something for your ass. Because see, if you don't want the coke and dopes in your system, we're going to give your ass the pills. And now that's what the drug of the day is the pills and the weed.
How you doing?
And that's how they fuck your life up. You know what I mean? It's just assessment. Once they realize what the pills and the weed doing to the kids, and how they fucking how the fuck you get ill off of weed? Your eyes run, you can't smoke a blunt before you go to school, and see, it's no direction, it's no guidance for the kids. See, when we was coming up, you better went to school. You know what I mean? The dudes are kicking your ass, you ain't go to school. They ain't play that. You went to school, you had to go to school. Dudes ain't play you hanging out, thinking you big shot, big Willie. They didn't play that. They linked on you. They did stuff to you. The older guys, they banged you in your chest, kicked you in your ass, told you get away. You ain't hanging on the corner. Now you got the guys on the corner with the little kids handing them blunts. I mean, well, it'd be 8 stupid motherfuckers outside. And these little dudes out here, it'd be one of them, be 7 of them. You could put 12 of them together and can't get a 12th grade education out of all of them together. I mean, you go outside in the morning, I come through here to go to work in the morning, you got a whole rack of, sad to say, niggas downtown doing nothing, be down here all day, ain't made $15. Been down here all day. And get mad. They be mad. I be mad too. Denny from Westport.
Sharif Rashid, something I'm directly experiencing right now. Well, I was taken off of child support in about two and a half years after my daughter was born. I was put on there for the first 2 years primarily. I was taken off of child support for the first 2.5 years. I guess we had come to an agreement where she felt I was doing what I was supposed to do, and I felt that it was better for me to just pay her directly the money. She took me off of child support, and now all of a sudden, about like my daughter's 10 now, 8, so I guess 7.5 to 8 years later, I'm put back on child support for personal reasons. I just got married, so the same month I got married, the same month I got put back on child support. But I didn't even know I was on child support until I went down to the child support office and found out, oh yeah, you already, filed. He already opened your case back up and all that stuff. So that's a major problem. Plus, all the money that I claim that I'm thinking I'm paying, one minute they tell me that I overpaid, next minute they tell me that I'm behind, and I just keep getting these different stories, and I don't know what's going on with my money, because every time I turn around, they just taking money from me. So my daughter's mother was telling me, okay, yeah, well, they giving me money. When I asked her how much money she was giving me, she was saying it was sending like $20, $30 checks because my money was going back to the state that was paying back for her getting, I guess, TCA assistance or any type of assistance like that. So that's what's happening. And taking it and giving her the scraps, $20 check. But the whole time I'm looking at my checks, I'm getting $80, like 80 hours of work. My check coming back $250. And I'm thinking, while I'm giving my daughter all this money, and the whole time she getting checks every 2 weeks of $40 and $70. So somebody taking money, and it ain't my daughter's mother, so.
Wow. So, yeah, they would do that in means of, yet you still paying and they still suspending your license.
Well, let's say for instance, I was working for a job maybe like 3 months ago, right? And the whole time I'm paying, they taking it out my check over a year and a half to 2 years, taking it out my check. I was unemployed for 3 months, although I was still assisting my daughter's mother. That's another story. I was unemployed for 3 months, and they calling me, threatening me to suspend my license, and it hasn't even been that long since I haven't been paid. And mind you, I'm only $1,000 in arrears to child support, so it's not like I'm up in the threatening to suspend my license, threatening to take action against me for jail. And I'm like, I'm not even that far behind in child support. And I've only been on child support for almost basically totality 4 years, but you know, they treat me like I'm a murderer or something, you know. But the position that I take is, I don't think that we should so much leave our black women alone. I think actually we should embrace our black women more. Men, to me, are the head of the social structure. We're the first layer of the social structure. So, because they reverse the roles, the elite, the powers that be, what we need to do as men is step up and take our responsibility, because they are not. The youth, the first three letters in youth for YOU. So if it's destabilized, then what you see the children out here doing is only because we dropped the ball somewhere. And it ain't the woman that dropped the ball, because she's supposed to be in the house. You know what I'm saying? The man is the one that's supposed to be out here and be active in politics, be active in economics. We're the ones that are supposed to be setting the foundation up. So the women are not just leaving us because they're just, the woman has a great burden on her back, the black woman, a great burden. Because of the role reversal situation, you see they taking care of their men too though. They don't want to, they don't know what to do just as much as we don't know what to do. So I think the responsible men should step up. We should start being active in our politics, active in our economics. They'll feel more secure in us, because during the Willie Lynch system, ain't nothing different. It's all the same now. What they would do is they would tar and feather you right in front of your women, right in front of your children, and shame you. And that way, they would have no trust, they would have no respect for their man, and they would feel like, yeah, we gotta go to the white man now, because they the ones running the scene. No, we got to take that back, because if we leave our women, then we are extinct.